Specifically, in our fourth story tonight, it turns out death panels are kind of real. And it took a group of nurses to find the real ones. Brown's investigation comes after the California Nurses Association analyzed state data and found that 1 in 5 medical claims there is rejected. United company Pacific Care rejected 39.6% of claims, 2 out of 5. The insurance companies claim the figures are misleading, although the data came from their own filings. The state's managed care agency said most rejections do not mean denying treatment. No, in those cases, it just means denying reimbursement, which helps to explain why medical bills are a top cause of personal bankruptcy, meaning we still don't know the exact numbers who have had to go before insurance company death panels and have already died as a result. Pacific Care, part of United Health Group, told the LA Times its rejection rate had been inflated because it reflects internal disputes with physician groups that never affect patients. The state's managed care agency told the paper, quote, department examiners are at the health plan right now reviewing its payment practices. Let me start with the denial of claims. Is that a criminal investigation there, too?
Well, I am so pleased that Attorney General Jerry Brown has decided to take this issue up. These stories we've been hearing for years, people who pay their premiums year in and year out, and then when they file a claim, the war begins. They've got to fight. They've got to do everything to try and get these companies to pay, and then they're oftentimes rejected. This information by the California Nurses Association is extremely important. This is a credible organization representing over 86,000 nurses in the United States of America, and they've finally put the facts before us. That which we suspected all along, that there were huge rejections. This 39.6% of Pacific Care, that is outrageous. And then they ask us to somehow compromise and have a trigger to let these insurance companies keep on committing these crimes and somehow set some kind of benchmarks to give them an opportunity to do right. They have been ripping off the taxpayers, the American people, the citizens of this country for far too long. No compromise should be entertained by anybody.
Yes, the idea was we could have triggers if the system doesn't work. The point is the system doesn't work right now. We've already met whatever triggers could be established. But let me ask you back about Attorney General Brown, with all due respect to what he's trying to do. Does our nation's healthcare problem, including the denial of claims, is that owed more to the fact that sometimes laws are being broken, or more to the fact that so much is actually legal and the insurance companies can get away with effectively murder?
Well, the fact of the matter is we don't regulate them in ways that would even suggest what their rates should be, whether or not they should or should not be denying claims. This is all within their power to do. They can take someone, again, who's been paying premiums for 10, 15 years, on time, regularly, in one of these HMOs, whatever you want to call it, and they can decide after they do their own review whether or not to reject or to deny. We don't really have a lot of control over that.
We already know about the financial implications of this, and I hesitate to again use that incendiary term, death panels. But do people die, in fact, because of decisions made by insurance company executives?
We absolutely have stories. We have information from people who have had the experience that there have been deaths. As a matter of fact, there are several that were cited by the Nurses Association as they presented this information about young people who had been denied certain procedures and consequently died.
There continues to be underneath this debate the utterly false notion that public option is a progressive cause alone, since 77% still deem the public option extremely or quite important. That according to a recent poll which used language identical to a June NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. Indeed, over the past month, a slew of recent polls asking about the choice of a public option has produced support between 55 and 77%, not just of progressives, but of, gosh, Americans.